He's on the FBI's most wanted list. He stole billions, funded Hollywood blockbusters, and partied with A-list celebrities, all while pulling off one of the biggest financial heists in history. Governments across the world are hunting him. Interpol can't find him. The FBI can't catch him. And to this day, he's still out there. Meet Jho Low, the billion-dollar mastermind behind the 1MDB scandal. He scammed entire nations, outwitted some of the biggest banks on Wall Street, and then vanished without a trace. How did he pull it off? And why hasn't he been caught? Buckle up, because this story is wilder than fiction. Low Taek Jho, known as Jho Low, was born on the 4th of November 1981, Georgetown, Malaysia. Wasn't born a billionaire. His family was wealthy but not obscenely rich. His father was a successful businessman in Malaysia, but they weren't Wall Street tycoons or Saudi oil barons. But Jho Low had something more powerful than money: connections. From a young age, he understood that real power wasn't about how much money you had. It was about who you knew. His parents sent him to Harrow School in London, an elite institution where the sons of royalty, billionaires, and world leaders studied. Jho Low wasn't just there for an education. He was building his empire before it even existed. He became friends with Saudi princes, children of Chinese billionaires, and future business moguls. By the time he moved to the Wharton Business School at the University of Pennsylvania, his network wasn't just wealthy, it was powerful. Jho Low wasn't just a student. He was a networking machine. By graduation, he had VIP access to some of the wealthiest and most powerful people on the planet. And he was about to weaponize those connections like never before. In 2009, Jho Low pulled off his biggest scheme yet, the creation of 1MDB, One Malaysia Development Berhad, a government-run investment fund. On paper, it was a national economic project designed to boost Malaysia's economy. In reality, it was a financial illusion, a house of cards built on fraud, deception, and Wall Street greed. Jho Low wasn't a government official. He held no official position in 1MDB. Yet, behind the scenes, he controlled everything. He handpicked the fund's board members. He negotiated billion-dollar deals. He managed secret offshore accounts where the stolen money would disappear. How did he do it? By pulling the strings of Malaysia's most powerful man, Prime Minister Najib Razak. The political puppeteer Jho Low knew how to make people feel important. He didn't just work with Najib Razak, he manipulated him. Najib saw 1MDB as his legacy project, a fund that would turn Malaysia into an economic powerhouse. Jho Low saw it as his personal piggy bank. Whenever Najib had doubts, Jho Low smoothed things over. "Trust me, boss, the foreign investors are lining up. Wall Street loves us. Goldman Sachs is backing the fund. This is going to make Malaysia richer than ever." With Najib's full support, the billions started flowing. And no one was watching where it went. To make 1MDB look legitimate, Jho Low needed big names backing it. That's where Goldman Sachs came in. Goldman helped raise over $6.5 billion for 1MDB through bond sales, making hundreds of millions in fees. But there was a huge red flag. Billions of dollars were disappearing into offshore accounts almost immediately. Did Goldman Sachs care? As long as the deals were making massive profits, they ignored every warning sign. One former Goldman Sachs banker later admitted, "We were literally working for a criminal enterprise." Jho Low knew that simply stealing money wasn't enough. He had to make it disappear. So he built a web of over 100 shell companies across Switzerland, the Cayman Islands, and the Middle East. The process worked like this. 1. 1MDB would raise money, billions of dollars from investors. 2. The money would be wired to a trusted company, which was secretly controlled by Jho Low. 3. That company would transfer the money to another company. 4, then another, 5, and another. Until eventually the money landed in his personal accounts, disguised as consulting fees or investment profits. by the time anyone started asking questions, the money was already spent. Jho Low wasn't just stealing fast, he was stealing smart. To keep suspicions low, he orchestrated fake business deals. He faked multi-million-dollar investments in energy companies. He claimed 1MDB was partnering with Middle Eastern royals, none of whom even knew about it. He forged documents to make everything seem legitimate. Even high-level financial investigators admitted it was one of the most sophisticated financial frauds we've ever seen. For years, Jho Low played this game flawlessly. Malaysia's government, global banks, even international regulators, they all believed 1MDB was a success story. No one suspected a thing, at least not yet. Jho Low didn't just steal money, he spent it like he was trying to break world records. A $250 million super yacht, complete with a helipad, spa, and private cinema. A $39 million Beverly Hills mansion and a $30 million penthouse in Manhattan. Paintings from Monet, Van Gogh, and Basquiat, locked away in private vaults. A $100 million stake in a Hollywood production company. Oh, and remember The Wolf of Wall Street? Yeah. Jho Low literally financed a Hollywood movie about financial fraud using stolen money. And then came the parties. Jho Low's parties were legendary. Imagine a $10 million yacht party with supermodels, A-list celebrities, and $100,000 bottles of champagne. One night, he casually handed Paris Hilton a briefcase with $250,000 in cash, just for fun. For years, he lived like a king, burning through billions in stolen money. But every con has an expiration date. For years, Jho Low was untouchable. He moved billions through offshore accounts, partied with Hollywood's elite, and convinced some of the world's most powerful financial institutions to back his schemes. But like every con, it all started to unravel. The first cracks appear. By 2015, financial watchdogs and journalists began noticing something strange. Billions of dollars were missing from Malaysia's National Investment Fund. At first, the Malaysian government tried to deny everything. There's no missing money. The fund is doing fine. These are political attacks. But the numbers didn't lie. Malaysia's Ministry of Finance had no explanation for why 1MDB was drowning in debt, despite supposedly making massive profits. Then came the bombshell. Investigators traced the missing money directly to Jho Low. One of the biggest breaks in the case came when journalists from the Wall Street Journal made a shocking discovery. $681 million from 1MDB had mysteriously landed in the personal bank account of Malaysia's Prime Minister, Najib Razak. When confronted, Najib denied everything. First, he claimed the money was a gift from Saudi royalty, a personal donation from Malaysia. Then, when that didn't hold up, he said he had already returned most of it. No one believed him. By now, the world was paying attention. When billions of stolen dollars started popping up in American banks, real estate deals, and Hollywood film productions, the United States Department of Justice, DOJ, launched a full-blown investigation. In 2016, the Department of Justice filed its largest ever kleptocracy lawsuit, aiming to seize over $1 billion in stolen assets linked to 1MDB. The case was officially called the largest financial fraud case in U.S. history. Among the assets targeted were Jho Low's $250 million super yacht, his $39 million Beverly Hills mansion, his multi-million-dollar art collection, the rights to the film The Wolf of Wall Street. It was the moment Jho Low's world started collapsing. One of the biggest surprises, Goldman Sachs, one of the most powerful banks on Wall Street, was deeply involved in the scandal. They had helped raise billions for 1MDB, despite obvious red flags. Now, the US government was coming for them too. Several Goldman Sachs bankers were arrested. The bank was fined over $2.9 billion for its role in enabling the fraud. It became one of the biggest corporate scandals in modern banking history. For Jho Low, this was the beginning of the end. Jho Low's inner circle turns on him. As the scandal spread, his closest allies started flipping. His financial advisors cooperated with the FBI. His former business partners leaked documents to journalists. Even his Hollywood connections distanced themselves. One by one, the people who once celebrated with him now wanted nothing to do with him. He had only one option left: disappear. By 2018, with governments around the world closing in, Jho Low vanished without a trace. Some say he escaped on a private jet. Others believe he used fake passports and plastic surgery to change his identity. All anyone knew was this: Jho Low was gone, and the global manhunt had begun. By 2018, Jho Low had completely disappeared. He had gone from being the life of the party, rubbing shoulders with Hollywood stars and billionaires, to the world's most wanted fugitive. Governments across the globe were hunting him. Interpol issued a red notice for his arrest. The FBI labeled him as a high-priority target. Malaysia's new government publicly declared, "We will not rest until Jho Low is brought to justice." But despite all of this, he was always one step ahead. The last confirmed sighting of Jho Low was in Macau, China, in 2018. From there, reports suggested that he had been shuffling between safe houses in China, Thailand, the Middle East. Some sources even claimed he was seen in the United Arab Emirates, enjoying life under a different identity. How was he moving so easily? Fake passports. He reportedly had multiple passports from different countries, including Cyprus, St. Kitts, and Nevis, Thailand. With each new passport, he could cross borders undetected, slipping past authorities as if he didn't exist. The plastic surgery theory. Rumors began circulating that Jho Low had taken extreme measures to change his appearance. Some reports claimed he had undergone plastic surgery to alter his facial features. Others suggested he was using body doubles to throw off investigators. One former Malaysian official even suggested, "Jho Low is unrecognizable now. Even if he walked past you, you wouldn't know it's him." One of the most persistent theories is that China is secretly protecting him. Why would they do that? Because Jho Low knows too much? During his rise, he had deep connections with powerful Chinese businessmen and government officials. Some believe Beijing has given him a safe haven in exchange for keeping quiet. Malaysia's former prime minister even claimed, "We know he's in China, but they refuse to hand him over." China, of course, denied everything. But the truth? No one knows where he is. Reports suggest that, despite losing billions in seized assets, he still has access to hidden offshore accounts. Unlike other fugitives who end up broke, Jho Low still has money, lots of it. And as long as he has money, he has power. Could he be dead? There's another theory. What if Jho Low faked his own death? Some believe that, realizing he was cornered, he staged an accident or had fake medical records created to throw authorities off his trail. There's no evidence to support this, but it wouldn't be the craziest move in his playbook. The ongoing global manhunt. Today, Interpol, the FBI, and multiple governments are still chasing Jho Low. His family members have been questioned. His associates have been arrested. His bank accounts have been frozen. Yet the mastermind himself? Still out there, still free, still untouchable, for now. While Jho Low escaped, others didn't. Najib Razak, the former Malaysian prime minister, jailed for 12 years. Goldman Sachs, fined billions for its role in the scandal. Malaysia, left with $10 billion in debt, forcing the government to sell assets to recover the stolen money. Yet, the mastermind himself? Still free. The billion-dollar lesson. Jho Low's story isn't just about a financial scandal, it's a warning. It exposes 1. How unchecked greed can destroy entire nations. 2. Why even the most powerful financial institutions enable corruption. 3. That no matter how clever a scam is, every con artist eventually leaves a trail. But here's the real question. Did Jho Low truly outsmart the world? Or is he just running out of time? Jho Low stole billions, partied with A-list celebrities, and then vanished without a trace. His story sounds like a Hollywood movie, but the craziest part? It's all real. Will he ever be caught? Or has he truly pulled off the ultimate escape? Let me know in the comments. Where do you think Jho Low is hiding right now? And if you think this story is wild, just wait. We have even crazier ones coming up. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insane true stories.